right, so we are back here with the brand new episode, a very special episode of Inside the Zone. This is episode number 10, and this is yours truly, KukuTV, together with our special guests. And you can see the faces again of our special guests. And why not? Let's just let them introduce themselves. Let's start with the person to my right.
You're right. Okay, that's me. Hi everyone, I'm Sir Cloud. You probably saw me, or maybe not. You know, we wouldn't mind some more support on the English broadcast of the PMCL this season. And yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation, Sir Cloud. And actually, it was Sir Cloud who initiated to have this type of episode.
Right, to be fair, you asked me before, but schedules couldn't meet, and we made it happen.
You were supposed to be on a different episode, so yeah. Well, this episode is a very special episode because this is the aftermath of week number 3, and this is the week prior to the grand finals of PMCL Fall. And let's now go ahead and introduce the person down below me. Go ahead.
All right, I am Neptune Garcia. For those of you who know me in the Tagalog broadcast, so I've also casted PUBG Mobile, but it's been a while, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, even those in the back end, want me to go back, but we don't know yet. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it, if in case that happened. Looking forward to this conversation as well.
Yeah, and he's also a former coach of Playbook Esports. If you have seen him, he actually went to Malaysia to actually coach for PBE and PMSL. And then we have another special guest. I believe you saw him already in one of my podcasts. The person down below, Sir Cloud. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah, of course.
Hey guys, it's me, Lufa, player from Exquisite Esports, and I'm the frogger of Exquisite. Hello guys.
Yeah, there you go. Lufa, the one and only Filipino who played in PMGC. That's one of the introduction that I would love to say about Lufa. But anyways, guys, this is the Inside the Zone episode number 10. And again, a very special episode because we're going to talk about what happened during week number 3. And we're going to talk about what could or might happen in the grand finals going into the PMGC. But before we even go through that, let's actually go first and watch our previous week. This is going to be the chicken dinners for the PH quads for week number 3. So go ahead.
Michi trying to go for the flank side. Will they be baited out? Pop-off down on the ground, leaving only Astro left. It's going to be a 2v1, 2 different angles. Can Astro do it? Will PB secure the chicken?
Oh, looks like it's going to be pretty.
Nathan, here comes the Nate being prepped up, but Skyn is prepping the Nate as well, but the Blues will close on Watch Esport first. Elevate, can they score this chicken? Is they're very close, they can sniff it away, but all this is about one more play of Martin and Elevate to give the extra hand. Can Martin knows there's Coop up there? Did he actually have any troubles for Martin as well?
Ooh, and look at this. UA is back up, MM is on the way. So there might be a full team here against Martin. And they know that Martin is just across Koopa. No time for them to save their teammate. And man, that one nade is all Koopa needs to fit.
Again, a reset here for Dread and GE. Dread was able to go for the heal already, but there's just splash damage being done by GE. Now Flash goes for an up close and counter here. Ooh, but then again, Damon goes down as well, and GE eliminates them. It's now going to be a 3v1v1 as Jisoo now, the fish in the waters, will go out. Ooh, and actually Super Pickles knocks down one. Jisoo gets the knockdown as well. It's now going to be a 1v1, and now it's with a 1 HP as well. Oh, Jisoo gets the kill, and now another 1v1. It's going to be Exquisite and GG, and Super Pickles goes down. He has really no choice, and GG. Oh no! They get eliminated.
I think he does. I think it's just 1 HP that he has left, but Jockey is really making sure that he goes for that snake situation.
Oh!
Throwing another nade and knocking out Skynin in the process. That wasn't really a good surprise. Another one goes down, leaving us with the 2 players left. For us, now we have the top. Another down, and they were able to take out the #1 threat, which is Ozja, just leaving us with a 1v1 situation because they cannot be complacent just because it's a 1v2 situation. And right now, looks like Federales is looking for a good spot in order for him to be able to see Marnet Boy. So he has decided to go for this uphill position. But Marnet Boy was able to spot him right away. So he that wasn't really effective at all. Though I think, oh, there you go. That was a really good one.
6 minutes now in this game. Stage number 7, and there we go. Ooh, nice spray from Damon, able to spot Master Toki. And now Drekki will be spotted as well. It's going to be another one for Damon. Give us one more, and you'll get
has been spotted.
For Flash Vision Esports. As for Exquisite, they're now going to be out of this game, but all eyes on Haz right now. He's going to be dead here in just a few because of the blue zone as well.
I think this is
most likely the denial will happen here.
It is.
Now with a ghillie suit as well. What a way to, you know, end his life for now for Flash and Esports. Going for the healing game as well, but again, healing games cannot really work at all in Erangel, and that is it. As Dread Esports finally gets low, traded off with the knockdown onto Marnet. Now NC2 is ready for action. It does have the MG3. This is going to be the Rata moment of the game here for NC2. He will go for the kill. There you go. And now we're down to only a 2v1. Goat versus STE. Now Goat will try to go out in the open. Yatka just throws out his frag grenade over to where ST is at. Lucy. Ooh, you have to be patient, my boy. You have to be patient. You might get knocked down. Now Lucy goes in for the kill. Now using a UMP.
That's a shotgun, my friend.
And that's a shotgun you're up against with. Don't have to be closer. You just have to wait for your teammates. Lucy, you have to be patient, my boy. You can now see down on low HP is Yatka, and that is it. NC2 with the M.
There's barely any forward space. If they still have those nades, this would be the demise of Go Esports. But for now, we're left with a couple of Molotovs. Just trying to deny that space away. XC11 can't see anything. Just trying to cover himself up with all these smokes. And now they're all followed true. It's all Dread Esports at the moment to take this chicken dinner home. They will manage to get a couple of knocks. And could they actually find something back? Only one member left.
Oh, one more to go. And it's now all in by Dread Esports. They will go to finish up the job. Here, match of Dread E. The beach? Are you kidding me? Like Sin, they don't even need to move right now. But then again, they want to wrap things up quickly. They want to go on to the next round. They will go all in. Go right now, but go! Unknown. Fires Magnet on the crew, knocking him down. But Rankin gets one, so only 2 active players left for gold now.
And they say, welcome to Sin City. Despite all that, those nades are actually doing God's duty. Wacko now being surprised, only one member left standing the way as they are playing with sure to smoke. So far, charging ferociously last round. And right now, PBA finally decided it's time to extend their wings, extend their stretch, fake nades connecting. Now we get that classic Filipino warfare. Rick now going for those long range shots. He gets a catch. Rick somehow connects a few, but will not stay alive. PBE takes the win with 17 eliminations on Harame Bros. He's not going to get the lead out in time. Pressure on, but there is at least one member back up. Lucy now takes the high ground and eventually gets crushed. It is Cute Loki that still saves the day with his P90 in hand.
Oh, they have to revive quickly. Quickly revive, because Momo is here on the high ground. They're still down. Only one player left. Playbook Esports, 3 active players. They want to wipe out the other members of Young Kugaticos to give them a chance to overtake them in the overall stage. St. Cloud gets finished off by Raimond. And now they've saw the final member of Young Kugaticos. Cute.
And that's all of the winner chicken dinners that the PH quads got in week number 3. I believe that's a total of 10 or 11 chicken dinners. So again, kudos to all of the PH quads who got their own winner chicken dinner. Now, let's talk about the results. Let's talk about the results here, guys. Let's first talk about the overall standings. So first, Sir Cloud, I mean, we casted. I mean, I casted for a day, and you casted for 4 days during this week. What can you say about the results during this week? It's kind of, I mean, a lot different compared to week number 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans would expect like Austria Esports to just steamroll everyone, right? But there seem to be like a lapse for themselves. So that's probably like the surprise of the week, if you ask me. Another other surprise is the survival of Exquisite Esports at the very end. Man, this one I gotta throw it to Lufa, right? Like what was going through the minds of you guys, like behind the scenes?
Especially the ending of week 2, we were talking about we need to be on the top of the week 3, so we trained a lot. Like the things we've been mistake, like the rotations, like all of it, we reset and then tried to bump it in the week 3, and yeah, we did it. Like we survived to get into the final. I think that's the reason why we qualified for the game.
Right. But you didn't play though, Lufa, right?
Yeah, I didn't play because I was sick, and I was very I was so excited like wow, we can play, but I was just like a coach for them. Like I was trying to tell them how to, like, you guys can do it, like you can try whatever you want, just give it all. I was always praying, but yeah, I was like a coach in week 3, but I think it's good for me.
Yeah.
Now going to that, Lufa, I have a quick question. So,
Okay.
what's the difference, like in terms of mindset as well as how your POV is while you're playing as well as a coach? Is it like what difference have you experienced?
My experience, like I wasn't been experienced as a coach, but I've
No,
been.
I mean during that time that you were not playing.
Yeah, I'm during that time I wasn't even experienced a coach, but I feel like how I get, like when I played into my recent internationals, I feel like I think I know the players how they get pressured, or like how they get, like how to maintain their confidence. I was trying always say to them, like trying not to be a gameplay coach. I was trying to be a mental coach for them. So that's why I like it's not kind of easy, but I was always just saying to them like they can do it, even it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for answering that. Sorry, Kuku, but I just want to ask Luva that because he had more experience in terms of like being in the game and like what the mindset is outside of the game. Because as you did mention, I was a coach for Playbook Esports, and it's pretty much the same story. It's not the in-game coach, but pretty much like a life coach for them.
Yeah, like kind of
You become a life
mentality.
coach for them to motivate them. It's not really like teach them what they have to do in game, but really what the mindset would be every time they play a game, especially if they're losing some of the matches.
Right. And speaking of coaches, we do also have another coach who's just on the right side of me. It's Sir Cloud. He was a former coach, I believe, for a national team for Brunei, right? For PUBG Mobile.
Yeah,
And
so-
you were a coach or analyst maybe of EVOS as well, right?
Yeah, so I started the competitive side, at least in recent time, with another PMPL team at first. That was during the era of PMPL MYSG. I don't think PH was included yet that year. It was with this team called Damansara Flash Vision. Yeah, so it's the it's another version of the Flash Vision that played in the PMCL, and after that, then I coached. I was also the analyst for EVOS. We call ourselves EVOS VIP, also in the PMPL MYSG. I don't recall whether PH was in. It could probably be in by then, but yeah, it was somewhere along the lines. And then I coached the Brunei national team during the Hanoi Sea Games. So that was my coaching time. The following year in Sea Games Cambodia, I was the national manager for Malaysia instead.
Wow, a lot of experience coming from this man. Well, I was also an analyst or a coach for a team that well, I mean, a lot of viewers know, which is Blacklist International during 2021, during PMCO times, and also we had the PMWI times. So now going back to Lufa, when you were like coaching your squad, did you actually use what we have talked about during our own podcast, wherein there were like stats available by your coaches in Reject Academy, and then with the Reject main team, did you kind of use some of the experience that you had during those times?
For me, I didn't did the thing that we did in Reject because I was trying to play on the day we were trying to practice because I didn't even have sick on that time. But when the time comes, like we need to play, I just got sick, so I just like rotate to be a coach, and the day I was trying to play. So all I did is trying to tell them where the teams where they drop, like the simple task of a coach, and the other things is like just trying to coach them as a life coach. That's all I did because I can't do the thing we did in Reject because we don't have much time to do it. That's why I didn't did the same thing as I experienced in Reject.
Right. So now the question is, Lufa, are you going to be playing in this coming Grand Finals, this coming September 27 to 29?
I don't know yet because I don't want to ruin their kind of like
Momentum?
their momentum of the game because let's see if they like get stuck or like struggle on the day. Maybe I'm gonna switch, but I want them to be the main, not me, because they have the momentum to play. And finals is a game that you don't need to get a lot of mistake. That's why I don't want to try to ruin their momentum and try to let them play what they want.
Yeah, it's only 3 days, 27, 28, and 29. So every single game is very much important.
Yes.
Especially that they now have what we call the head start points. So some teams basically have the head start, especially Austria, who has 30 points currently right now. Speaking of Austria did not get the best team performance during this week. It was taken by a different squad, which is Yangon Galacticos from Myanmar. They basically got 145 eliminations, over 32,000 rather damage, with 6 winner chicken dinner. So let me ask you, Sir Cloud, were you expecting YG to be this good during week number 3?
I mean, YG has always been this team that's like knocking on the door, right? But I didn't expect them to be this good on week number 3. I think it was the one day that they got like 3 back-to-back chicken dinners. Was it 3 or 4? I think it was 3.
Day 3, yeah.
Yeah, day 3 back-to-back chicken dinners. And when they did that, it's like, okay. And I'm the kind that's like, okay, cool, chicken dinner, right? But I rather dive into like how they got the chicken dinner and whether those chicken dinners are quality chicken dinners. And I would say yes, they were quality chicken dinners. It's not like those kind of chicken dinners that, oh, you don't do much, you just stay at somewhere in the middle of the circle and you get like the circle 100% onto you like for 3 games in a row. You're that lucky. Then if it's those kind of chicken dinners, I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure. But the chicken dinners that they got is like, okay, some of them like the circles went away, they had to fight their way through, and they showed that they could still get chicken dinners in that sort of situation. So because for and there's been many times that I've heard like players say that, oh, why can't you win this round? What's wrong? It's like, oh, luck of the circle, we don't get the luck and all that. To me, frankly speaking, it feels like excuses. Like, it's excuses. Maybe Lufa can testament from a player perspective, or maybe Neptune can testament from his experience as well. But for me personally, I think it's just excuses. It's all down to the mindset. And Yangon Galacticos has shown that they are very solid to overcome situations to get those chicken dinners.
Yeah, and can anyone attest to whatever Sir Cloud mentioned, Neptune?
Yeah, I mean for YG for Yangon Galacticos, it's been like so many times already that they are placed in a best position, like not even getting that chicken dinners, but still in the best position to grab elimination, especially when I was casting. So that's one thing that YG has offered. Even in the games, they have brought in so much of elimination. In week 3, 168 in elimination. I mean, that is a lot, or rather 145 though on elimination. That's something to prove really that the chicken dinner is something that they have done, and most of the teams wait for the final moment. I mean, going back to what Sir Cloud mentioned, some of the teams wait until the final circle and grab the chicken dinner, and at this point, like only gets a few elimination. But for YG, I think they made their way halfway through getting a few picks, and then that's when they put themselves in the best position. And couldn't agree more with what Sir Cloud mentioned about excuses, not finding a circle. I mean, there's a system already that has been built, and that's something that we've used as well. Like once you see the actual circle, you just put an imaginary square or another imaginary circle to find a better placement or find your placement into the next phase. So it's somewhat easy to easier said than done, but there's a system that you can use to be able to get yourself in the circle. So excuses overall, not finding a circle. Couldn't agree what Sir Cloud mentioned.
Yeah, we are hearing right now, guys, that from the coach's standpoint, that it is basically excuses. But from a pro player standpoint, speaking of excuses, from Exquisite Esports standpoint, Lufa,
For me,
it's an excuse.
For me, as Sir Cloud says, it's excuses. I think it's really an excuse because for me, as my experience is, if you don't have zone, there's a lot of system like we have kill points. So what if we just like try to get the position where the teams are there and like try to more do the different strategy that you guys have. Like you don't need to. And as you know, the new system of our zone is it's more like you need to try to take the advantage of the rotations, and you should just like take their position or just try to fight the teams. You can make a lot of the decision to make the team wins, and I think it's an excuse for me.
Oh yeah, so excuses for everyone actually. I mean, I would agree as well. I mean, from my standpoint. It could be an excuse, but there was a time actually. I did watch one of the days, which was day number 3. If you want to go back, you can go back to PUBG Mobile Esports to watch it. There was a time that there was like only 2 players left for Yangon Galacticos, and there was just so many other teams surrounding them, and they basically went for a clutch play until the very end, and they were able to grab one of those chicken dinners during that day. There were like only 2 players left for YG, and the rest there was like 3 or maybe even 4 players left. So again, excuses are excuses, but you do have those chances, those plans or strategies, like what Lufa said, that you can just take those kill points, or maybe just try to be much more assertive at the very end to get that winner chicken dinner. Now,
Yeah.
We're done talking about YG now. Let's talk about the defending champions, the Summer League champions, which is Harame Bro. During week number 3, they actually got the most number of elimination points. 168 elimination points. And in connection to that one, Sir Cloud, it was Federalis, the reigning defending MVP, who got the Terminator of the Week, which is week number 3. He got 57 total eliminations with over 12,000 plus damage. Do you think that Federalis is back now to his original form, or what?
Not gonna lie, I've always been a big fan of Federalis. I've always said like Federalis sign my cheek, you know, that one day, that one day.
You can request one right now. I mean, he's gonna be watching this, right?
Okay, yes, Federalis. Okay, sign my cheek, okay? Yeah. Is he at his peak form now? it was impressive on week number 3, not gonna lie. But if you ask me, I've seen a better version of Federalis. Last season's Federalis was like banging, yeah. But I guess of course it's after like one season, other teams have improved as well. So clearly he has a competition with the other players. So with the fact that I have seen better from Federalis, I would say that this is definitely not his best yet. He definitely can do better. Of course, again, sometimes what we say here is like easier said than done. But I've seen better of Federalis. I remember there was this one time, just to give a bit of a tea here, Federalis did text me, and then he was asking, oh, was it by text or was it during one of my live stream? I forgot. But we had a light conversation of him asking whether he could play in the PMSL. And that time, I believe he was like either fresh out of PMNC or it was his first season in the PMCL. I forgot about that. Maybe that time not yet, but now that he has had this experience, even playing in the PMWC, he has seen the standards set by like the teams at the PMWC. I would say at this point, if being a young talent, all young talent like Federalis needs to do is to be able to stay focused and consistent, and also have a good, strong mentality. Work hard. I would say, yeah, he's definitely someone to watch and could potentially play even like in other leagues.
Right. And speaking of PMSL, there was also one moment where Few did ask me if they can play for PMSL. So speaking of PMSL now, let's go to Neptune, who did coach a team in PMSL. So how is it different now, like PMCL to PMSL? I mean, can you recognize the difference of playing between the two leagues?
Well, there's a lot of changes, especially every time I watch like any of the tournaments happening, not only PMCL, but anything past PMSL from the season that I was coaching. There's a lot of changes that happen, especially with, well, I couldn't say it's a cliche that we always go into the meta because of the changes, but it's more of the experience that each team are getting. And that's one thing, as Sir Cloud did mention, if you learn, or I think it was Lufa as well, he mentioned this, learn from the mistakes, you make those corrections, and he was able to experience that and relay that to the team as well while he was resting for the last week of PMCL. So that has been a something that really has been a trend. Performance overall has been improving. There's a lot of teams that has done a lot more, but one thing is for sure, the Thailand teams, the ones that always, most of the time, dominate the scene in PMSL, are doing the same thing. So it's so much pressure for those in Southeast Asia, like the teams from the Philippines, the teams from Myanmar, the teams from Cambodia. There's a lot of teams that really needs a lot of effort. Indonesia, well, Indonesia is doing well because of all the support that they have in terms of the team being supported by the country itself, the community itself, by the kingdom itself. So if that support's trickle down to the Filipinos, I think there's a lot more that PH teams can do, because it's not just that they can work on themselves, but they can do a little better if they have that motivation beforehand. If the motivation is on there, like what the Thailand teams and Indonesian teams are experiencing, they have that support already in the back end, and all they have to do is just and that becomes their responsibility as well. They become responsible of being a better player, being a better person, if all that support is backing you out.
Wow. And you can actually connect that one to whatever experience Lufa had during his time with the PMJL, or the PUBG Mobile Japanese League, and with this Team Reject, right? I mean, can you share a little bit of the support that Reject, the organization, is giving you during those times?
They give us a lot of potential to make us reach our max potential about the organization. Like, for example, like they give us a chef in our boot camp.
Wow.
Like we can just like focus our game, and we have as Japanese, they have the strict of how they trying to focus of the game. Like as an athletes player, like they always wake up 9 a.m. and go to the office and just try to train more. Like when I was in reject, I was trained in 9 a.m. and we would always go home around like 3 a.m. in the midnight. So I think the organization is trying to help us how we reach the max potential of our team, to give us more confidence like to our upcoming games. I think that's the best thing for me as an athlete player. Like they always give us help. I think we need that in a lot of teams, like be it like the teams in Philippines or around the world. Like, yeah, I think we just need that.
Yeah, you did mention when we were having that podcast where all players together with the coaches and analysts needs to be together when it comes to like eating lunch or dinner.
Yes,
It's like there you would be able to improve your synergy, your chemistry, or just being a
yes.
family all together, right?
Mhm.
Yes, like it's not about the organization, but as a team, we always need to be in a place like as a family. Like we need to eat together, or like talk together, like just a friend.
Yeah.
Because if you did that every time, like you will feel more comfortable to your team. Like if you play, there's no pressure. Like you can do the chemistry what you guys want. Like you can feel it in game. You can feel it in outside game.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like with that approach, with that habit, it's more of you know exactly what the other people is thinking beforehand. I mean, you would know like there's that connection, a certain connection that even with a slight sound cue, a slight look in the face, whatever it is that you're doing, especially in game, you know exactly what's happening, and that builds a certain connection. Not only that, going back to what I mentioned earlier about responsibility, if you are that tight knit as a team, like you will be responsible for the entire team, not just for yourself. So every decision, every action that you have considers all within the team. Not only that, the one in game, but also the ones in the back end, like the coaches, the analysts, even the organization themselves, and like it's vice versa. So it's just taking in you're as one when you play a game. It's not just you yourself who's doing it.
Oh yeah, I was just about to be the bad guy here in this conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not to put too much pressure onto the ecosystem or even the organizations or even the whoever who's involved in the support system, right? But I think that it all has to start from the individuals themselves. Like I have seen like organizations treating players really well, like they provide everything, but sometimes players take it for granted and they don't follow through, or they just not self-motivated. Like, okay, I provide you all the support, but how do you maximize like the support, right? Like do you like slack off, or do you like, oh, okay, the support's been provided, great, so I just ride with it, and you do just enough. So this thing I would also question back like to individuals, right, on how do you get yourself self-motivated. And I believe that is the first thing that should be the starting point. Then if you have support, great. If you don't have support, but if you're self-motivated enough, you'll find a way to make it happen.
Right. And
Right.
it's also like, I wouldn't say bad, but it's, let's go bad. Let's go with the word bad. It's a bad thing to call a team as a family, because at some point, family, you won't be able to let them go. If for what Sir Cloud mentioned, like if it's an organization, a team, then they're not doing well, then give them a few instances to prove themselves. If they don't, then just let them go. I mean, you've done so much already. You've done so much to make them better. Why not like do much more to help the rest of the team, especially if it's only an individual or one or two, and like just let them go, find them a new player that would work well, that would be in the same mindset, in the same goal as everyone else. But one thing that's happening right now is like there are a lot of teams that has been together for quite a long time, and even if they reach like PMCL level, they just got too familiar despite of all the drama, the attitude. They just got too familiar. They couldn't let go of the teammates, thinking that they will not perform. But I've seen this firsthand, and I've seen that it has been overcome. It has been done, and I'm pretty sure a lot of teams will need to know that.
Right. And can we say that this is happening now to Genesis Esports, Sir Cloud?
Ooh.
Are they like too
Ooh.
comfortable with each other? Like they've been winning like 3 seasons in a row, and then all of a sudden you see the downfall of the giant Genesis Esports, who, by the way, they can't even make it to top 1 during this season in each week.
Okay, so I think it's a bell curve, right, for Genesis Esports. So I do know the top management. Like we went out for dinner. I learned his philosophy and all that. And purely genuine guy. He knows the vision. But of course, at the end of the day, it's not him that's playing. It's the players that are playing, right? Now, I do think that there's a certain extent of like when you reach a peak, like there will be a certain level of downfall because of maybe, okay, and these are just theories. I'm not saying that it is happening in Genesis Esports because I'm obviously not there, but I've seen it becoming a trend across. It could probably be like, okay, we're multiple champions, we're comfortable. Do we even need to work hard anymore? Okay, that could be one. Or we are champions by playing this way. Like, what stops us from changing our method, right? Nothing. So you play the same way as you were when you became champions, and then it just didn't work out after that because other teams are getting better, other teams are adapting to the meta. Although in the world of PUBG Mobile esports, it's not like the game dynamically changes, right?
Right.
But because we're talking about like 15 other teams, if one team changes, then everyone is forced to change. And if you're not able to do so, then it's going to be hard. So that could be, in theory, the case for Genesis Esports. Probably they hit the bell curve. So I take a similar example, right? Like BTR, for example.
Oh yeah.
BTR used to be like that world champion, and they've been stomping teams and things like that. But what happens after that, right? Yeah, you have roster changes and so on and so forth. They try to recover. I'm pretty sure they still play with the same philosophy, or at least from a management perspective, it's the same philosophy, the same vision. But why have we not seen the prime of such teams? So I guess maybe if I were to take another recent example, right? What happened to the Mongolians in the PMWC?
Oh yeah.
Right? Falcons were supposed to stomp everyone based on what they have achieved, but where were they, right? So, and then Brazil came up. So, and then the Chinese teams had their era, and where were they? So is this a bell curve that we're seeing? Like, okay, you achieve the pinnacle of things, and then you just don't adapt, you just get complacent, and then you just fall.
Wow. I'm loving this conversation, by the way. And Lufa is actually smiling while you were saying all those things, because probably he's also experiencing those type of peak moments, and then all of a sudden goes down. Well, I mean, there's reasons why Lufa is not playing 100% right now, because he did mention in our previous podcast that he's like 50% focused only on this league because he's focused on other businesses as well, right, Lufa?
Yes, I think as Sir Cloud says, it's like there's a lot of teams like trying to fall down. I think because it's about the meta of the game, like the changes. For example, the zone system. If you compare to last year and this year, it's kind of different. And there's a lot of teams like trying to be like, as I say, like I like a team like as a family, and someone just don't like it, right? I think it's the same for me as a player. I will like trying to see my teammates as a family because I really want to be improved with them. And as someone says, there's a lot of teams like there's a lot of players like they don't have motivation as you, as a player who wants to be on the top and need to be changed. I think for me, it's true, but you can try to help them to be motivated too. For me, my reason I'm very motivated every time is there's a lot of days I'm trying to quit PUBG. Like I don't play PUBG. I only just trying to not play other game. I just go outside or like trying to do your hobby like sports. And if you go back to play, you get motivated. Like I want to play more PUBG or like something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's the reason for me. Family is better for me because you can make individual motivations. Like if you want to do more, like to win more. And about the downfall, I don't know. It's hard. Like it's hard to explain. I don't know if there's luck or something or the meta. For me, I think it's the meta. Meta of the game, like the tournaments, the situations.
Right. I mean, it might be the meta because, again, every single update, there's a brand new, stuff being added to the game. Like just recently, 3.4 update, we had the addition of the dual MP7, which is a pistol gun.
And a vehicle who can drive water.
Yeah, a hovercraft. It's slow, but you can hide inside and not get a gunshot or get hit by the gunshots from the enemies. But again, this is what we talked about with Queen Toyo. And guys, by the way, Queen Toyo is not here because she's not responding. So Neptune had to step in to sub in for Queen Toyo. And thank you very much, Neptune, by the way, for stepping up. And we talked about this during day number 4 of week number 3, wherein the hovercraft does explode, but again, it's a bulletproof vehicle. So how does it even explode? So those are the things that these players and coaches or analysts has to think about every single time there's updates in the game. But my next topic would be Harami Bro. Since they're the defending champions, they do only have 18 head start points compared to whatever they had during summer. I believe so. They had 22 points. They were like on the same level as YG right now. So my next topic would be: can they defend and win again during this season, which is fall? Let's start with Sir Cloud.
If they play like how they played in week 3, yes. Because what I see, what I really like about their play style, and I zoom into the details, right? It's number one, they don't hesitate when the circle pops or where to move. So like what I believe Neptune, you mentioned about this. You need to have an imaginary circle, right? And then when it happens, you're ready to just do it, rather than after the circle pop and then you start discussing on like where to go. By that time you lost time. Other teams would have moved and you'll be blocked out by other teams. So I see them doing that very, very well. And when it comes to taking fights, they're very good at positioning themselves in the way that every player is always supported by each other, and they know the terrains like the back of their hand. Like, okay, they know that, okay, if I stay at this angle, at least one angle is covered. I don't need to worry about the part. I just need to focus on to the other angle. And I think that coordination is great. About shooting, I believe if you're already a player at this stage, everyone's very good at shooting. So what differentiates the good and the greatest is these kind of things that don't involve shooting, just decision making, just how you position yourself, how you work with your teammates. And I think they have done it very, very well. If there were to be any gap for Harame Bro, it's just sometimes the consistency of doing this. And I can totally empathize it, although I'm not the one playing, but I can empathize the fact that, yeah, you can go for it, like, let's say in 6 rounds a day, maybe like 4 rounds, you're like, okay, we are top of the game, we're feeling good, we're doing all our checklists right. 2 games, you might start to feel a bit tired, right? Like mentally tired, and then there could be a lapse. And because it's a team game, if one person lapse, then it becomes like someone else has to cover for this person. So the whole team lapse as a whole. So dropping a game or 2, it's understandable. Every team would face through that. But so I would say that they have everything on paper, or at least from what I see in terms of how they move the gameplay, the confidence, the decision making. Then the decider would be, will they be as consistent as some of the top teams to be the champion? I would say at this point, I'm leaning towards a yes.
They can defend. So are you saying that Harame Bro can win it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But the real question is, like, I see it on the comment section during live streams, the addition of Rig, a former player of T2K, by the way, who is actually was from Raw Esports, if I'm not mistaken, from South Asia. What do you think of the addition of Rig, Sir Cloud? Like, does it help, or does it change how the chemistry works for Harame Bro?
I actually had this question as well. It's like, how do they communicate? Is Rig proficient?
They use English.
Okay. So they're all cool with that, right?
Yeah.
So Rig hasn't been the most standout player for me. But I guess sometimes it could be, now I could be right or I could be wrong here, but it's probably one of those players who, okay, they don't stand out, but they do the dirty work. Yeah, they do the dirty work stuff. So it's hard to see. Okay, I'm coming from a neutral perspective, right?
Right.
And I'm being objective here. It's hard to see Rig's contribution to Harame Bros. So he could be doing the dirty work. He could be doing the comm stuff and things that we can't see visibly. But as a caster or as a viewer's perspective, it's hard to see.
Well, during week number 1, it's very evident that Rig was trying to play the role of Federalis. Did anyone notice that during week number 1? Harame Bro, when they had Rig come in, Rig was trying to play like the role of Federalis, and then eventually during week number 2 they try to change it until week number 3 now, which is now they're fully committed on Federalis being the main fragger.
Now, let's look at it at a different perspective. So, Rig is on loan, right? Rig is on loan, and it is possible that, like, there are a few instances that, like Sir Cloud mentioned, something happening in the back end that he's helping out with the team, or it might be the other way around. Rig is getting all these information, especially with what you pointed out. He's trying to play as Federalis, and then Federalis takes over. So there's a few instances that they might be also sharing some information that Rig might be able to get, and that might be something of the clause or what they have agreed with in terms of this loan. So it's just me. How
about you, Lufa? What's your opinion on Rig's addition to Harami Bro, and could it help for a back-to-back win in PMCL?
I think for me, Rig is, I think they trying to learn something from the other regions, how they play. That's why I think they put Rig in the team, and as they use communication for English, right? And I think the week 1, week 2, that's why they struggle. I think because of the communications, and they're trying to be prepared for the finals. That's why they getting better in week 3. I think they could perform very well in this finals for my opinion, because that's why Federals can give his best, because they're trying. I think they're trying to do 2 fraggers, like the very outstanding fraggers on the team are trying to the kills like this, trying to go up and down. I think they're trying to do a lot more strategy for globals, because Rig was playing in T2K in PMGC2. They're trying to learn a lot, I think, from Rig. That's why they put Rig in the team. And for me, they could perform very well in finals, I think, for sure.
Okay. Well, now, since we're talking about playing better than Federalis, let's talk about Austria Esports now. The big team during the league. Red Bull got 2 weeks in a row of being a Terminator of the Week, and might be on the verge of getting that MVP honors as well, taking over Federalis, who was the former MVP. Now the question is, will they continue with their dominance during grand finals? Because we know Martin from PMPL Thailand came in together with Red Bull, and then they also have a coach which is from Team Secret before, which is Mantoy. Yeah. So, Sir Cloud, since you have a lot of experience with these people, like with Martin, with maybe Red Bull, or even Madtoy from Team Secret Malaysia, do you think that their performance in week 3, I mean, are they in trouble during grand finals now, since that the others have adjusted from their performance during week number 2?
I think they will. I think they'll bounce back. I think now I think that this is a team that because if you look at between week 2 and week 3, right, there was a 2 weeks gap. So yeah, I think that could have cooled them down. So when they restarted back, it's they're still trying to find their synergy, their momentum, even the confidence, if we look at it as a whole, right? So I think that with the gap between week 3 and the grand finals is shorter, I think Austria Esports will bounce back. Little bit of highlight onto Mattoy. I have had decent interactions with him. Outside of the game, he is a hilarious guy. Yeah. Anyone would probably love talking to him. He pulls off this crazy jokes. He's capable of pulling off crazy jokes. But inside the game, how I see Mattoy, so he used to be the IGL for Team Secret back in the day, and I rate him as the top IGL around.
Wow.
Because he's just IGL genius. And the fact that being IGL genius, based on movements and all that, timings and movements, for him to be the coach for Austria Esports, I thought that is a perfect role for him. But of course, it could have been a meta back then and meta now. But at least on paper, the results are showing to be pretty good for Austria Esports. So I believe that with the 1 week league that they had for week number 3, as a warm up for the grand finals, they should be able to bounce back.
Oh yeah, I mean, in my opinion as well, it's kind of like a warm up to the grand finals, because they're bound to be the number 1 team altogether throughout the league, having 2 20-point league points during week number 1 and week number 2. So they just needed to do a little bit of effort during week number 3, so that they can probably save the best for last during the grand final. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that that will be in store for Austria Esports for the rest of the teams. But other than Austria Esports, is there any other teams that might surprise us during the grand finals? Like if you remember last season in summer, TTQ or maybe even Strangers Esports was trying to knock on the doors with the number 1 spot.
For me, I think it's Sin.
Sin, okay.
Yes. Because as you see the week 2 or the week 1, I think they have the they had the very good edging, like how they rotate or how they defend the position. They have like, I feel more like they were near to global. I don't know what happened in the week 3, but I think they can be the knocking door teams.
The dark horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, for me, Exquisite, the team that can surprise us. Like, come on, man, Exquisite.
Bro,
From
you don't need. Bro, you
1
don't need
point.
to say it. Bro, you don't need to say it. If you say it, like they might the curse will become on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, so that's why I'm so silent about my team, because maybe
yeah, well, he's not allowed to talk about it. We can.
if you talk about it, like, bro, in Reject, we talk about our team and we were like going down, bro. That's why I didn't talk about my team, because I already experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I mean, yeah, Exquisite Esports, they improve a lot during week number 3. There's still a lot more of improvement needs to be done so that they can be better in the grand finals. But in my opinion, I would go for Dread Esports. Dread Esports, their slow progress of improvement during week number 1, they were really struggling. Week 2, they did improve, and then during week number 3. They did also improve. So I think Dread Esports is in the course of, being one of those dark horses here in the grand finals of PMCL Fall. While we're waiting for Neptune, by the way, Neptune is out. He's actually cooking food for the family over there. So shout outs to his wife.
It's fine.
Yep. Yeah, his family and wife. I know them personally. So shout outs to you guys. For the
Shout out to dads who cook.
Oh yeah. Do you know how to cook, Sir Cloud?
I once burned a stove, so I'm restricted from the kitchen. So no.
How about you, Lufa?
How about-
Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I'm very good at cooking, because I was solo when I was in Reject. Like, we only go in the
I
office.
see. What was your
Yeah, I always
go-to food?
For me, it's traditional food in Japan. It's we call it gyudon.
Gyudon. Oh, I see.
Yes.
That's the one with beef and the onions.
Yes.
right?
Rice. Making me hungry. But okay, I want to come back to this topic, right?
Oh yeah.
Why is
Okay.
nobody talking about Playbook Esports? What's the sentiment at the Philippines?
It's. I mean, for me, they're such a random team, to be honest with you. Like, there are times that they're very good, like what happened here in week number 3, and then there's sometimes on the bottom of the food chain. I watched the live stream of their coach right now, which is Fort Row, a former player of Exquisite Esports, by the way. He was really observing every single stuff that is happening during the games, and probably he's the one. He's kind of like the Mad Toy of the Philippines right now, but not as good as Mad Toy as of yet, because you just mentioned that he's the super
The best.
IGL, the best IGL.
Yeah.
But for sure, PB has their strategies all set up for the grand finals, especially that we saw that big improvement from week 1 and 2 now to week 3, that they were able to get a lot of elimination points. The only inconsistency that I see from them right now is their aggressiveness. They're a team that kind of goes into a passive mode a lot of times, where in fact that they can be aggressive in certain moments in the game. So that is the one thing that that is missing from Playbook Esports. Yeah, that's probably why I'm not mentioning Playbook Esports, because you see the other teams that we have mentioned, like Genesis Esports, like Dread, Exquisite Esports, YG, and Ostia. Their aggressiveness when it comes to getting elimination points and as well as getting the chicken dinner, they're consistent on that regard. But for the others, like, I mean, I would say PBE, it only happened during week number 3.
Well, the fact that you mentioned Sin and not PBE, I know who's the happiest of them bunch.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
my God.
I had to sneeze.
Oh, your comment. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, we're back.
We're back. Are you talking about Ran Kid?
Oh, who's that?
We call him the Riz Kid now. You know why?
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the
The
jizz?
risk kid.
Can you again explain, Lufa, why he's the Riz Kid now?
I think you need to watch his TikTok.
Yeah, you need to watch it.
You will know it. You will know how different he is right now.
Okay, here we go.
We're not sure if he's live right now on TikTok, but once he gets live, you have to watch him so that you can understand why we call him now the Riz Kid. I mean, if me and Vince G casting the English broadcast, we call him the Riz Kid, not Ran Kid.
Yeah.
Okay, is it his new dance?
No.
No. You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I have to sift through like which video is it?
No, it's not a video. It's the live streams,
Oh.
right?
Oh, it's a live stream.
Yeah.
It's
the
a live stream, but I think there's a he
Oh, there's
posted
a
something.
clip.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, I shall sift through that.
Yeah, you have
later
to
on.
wait it out until he goes live, or maybe you can check out his clips. But anyways, since Neptune is still not here, we have actually questions that was post. I mean, I did made a post, and these are questions for our guests. Supposedly, it was for Queen Toyo, Lufa, and Sir Cloud, so it's only going to be for Lufa and Sir Cloud now.
Okay.
So first question, I'm not sure if you answered this one, Lufa, during our podcast, but
Okay.
this was asked by shoutouts to Carl Wilfred Rivera. He did mention that since you already competed in PMGC, can you compare the difference of playstyle of the other countries versus Philippines? And a follow-up question, who do you think is the most consistent Pinoy pro player who is currently playing in PMCL?
Okay. For the PMGC, I think the difference is for the Filipino teams. I can't compare it because it depends on the teams, because it's not only just a one region we always fight for. There's a lot of regions.
Let's just say let's just say compare the playstyle. I will mention some countries, like let's say China, Brazil, Japan, and then Philippines.
Okay, if I compare Brazil are very, very different. Like they always, if they're not on zone, if you're defending the zone and they're trying to fight for you as a Filipino teams, they always make you confused. Like they always shoot you from different angles. They're not only in the one angles to fight for. They make a lot of decisions to get close to you. You can feel the pressure how they fight for you. They always get the advantage.
Okay.
I think that's different for me if you fight with the Filipino teams, because the Filipino teams always just like trying to get more clear and try to take advantage knocks. But in Brazil we played, they always make a lot of angles. They don't do only solos and just try to crush on you, like have a support and just crush on it. They always have the advantage to fight with. That's why I think that's the difference about the teams. And about the player who is very consistent in Philippines, Filipino who played in PMCL. I think it's I have two. It's Federales and Range.
Range.
Yes.
Interesting.
But
I think Sir Cloud disagrees.
I know. Well, no, not really. I think if you talk about consistency, yeah, I'm trying to just sift through the list right there. I missed out any other names.
okay.
Yeah. How
Who
about
is it?
Wako?
Wako.
Oh, Wako.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
If there's no limit in this consistency, I have a lot.
Oh
To be
man.
honest.
Do you
I have a lot.
want to do a top 5, Lufa?
Yeah, I want a top 5, I think.
Yeah, let's do a top 5. So who's
Okay.
your top 5?
Range.
Range?
And
Is it by
Federales
sequence or is it just random?
is
Is it by sequence like range is number 1?
Or
Oh
Range
yeah,
is
it's
number 5?
random. It's random. Just
Alright.
random.
Random.
Just
Okay.
random. Range, Federales, Raimon.
Ryman.
Yes. 3.
You got 2 more.
Yeah, I know, but wait. My mind is like. Okay, I'll put Wako
Wako.
and. MM.
MM from Exquisite.
Yes. It's not about like because they die or like the consistency, but I can feel MM or his play style, the consistency.
Right.
I can feel it.
And just by the way, for Neptune, who just came back in here.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that you cook good food.
Yeah, I did.
How was the
that.
food?
We were
It's my wife to judge.
yeah, yeah, right. We were talking about consistency, like top 5 consistent players who's playing in PMCL right now. So this is a question for Lufa, but now it's a question for everyone. So while Sir Cloud is thinking, let's go with Neptune. Who's your top 5 most consistent players who's playing in PMCL right now?
So we have Federales. I think like that will be everyone's list if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah, Federales. I heard Lufa mention Ryman. I think he has been becoming consistent right now compared to when I saw him play during my time coaching them. So I'll put him on the list as well. So range as well. That's 3. Now I'm all out. So it's Federales, range, Raimon. I would like to say Monboy because like most of the time like his aggressiveness always consistent, somewhat too consistent, and it always goes down early. So Monboy is there as well. I need one more.
Yep.
Oh man, 5 is kind of hard, right?
Yeah, 5 is hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in MM as well.
MM.
I see him most of the time, like especially in highlights. If Exquisite is involved, so yeah, that's my 5. I don't remember all those 5. Hopefully, you listed that.
Yeah.
Kuku.
We can have a clip for you guys. How about for Sir Cloud? Who's your most consistent top 5 guys in the Philippines right now for PMC?
Ooh. I mean, the Motherboard conversation is pretty interesting, right? Okay, but I'm trying to piece the logic here, right? Like if Neptune gives like Ryman and Motherboard like in the top 5, but why is Playbook Esports below like those teams? So I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just
Only
being the
2 though.
stats guy though. I mean, 2 is half the team.
Only 2 of 6.
Oh.
And by the way,
I'm-
Neptune, we did had a conversation while you were away. We did had a conversation about why we're not talking about PBE. So later on, you might want to add into that conversation. While Sir Cloud now will list his top 5 most consistent PH players.
Yeah. Okay. So I was kind of thinking while you guys were, obviously doing it, right? I would say I'm leaning towards Lufa's answer. I might swap out for someone else, but I'm having a hard time finding the swap. So potentially that swap could be Motherboard. Probably the next closest one is Motherboard. Yeah.
So your list is Federalis?
So to summarize, Federalis, Range, Momboy,
Ryman.
Wako,
and
Ryman. Yeah.
Ryman. I see.
Yeah.
Mine is totally different. I mean, for the others, but I mean, it's gonna be the same for Federalis. Range is also there. But my third guy would be Jappy.
Oh, you know what? I was actually also thinking about Jappy, but I'm like, yes, no. Oh, okay, yeah,
I mean,
I'll go the other way.
I do have a moniker now for this guy because if you watched week number, actually, not just PMCL, if you watch PMWC in Riyadh, there was a moment where he frag grenaded the rest of Vampire Esports, and it was Jappy. And during this time, actually this week, he just went on a 4v1 or maybe a 3v1 against Austria Esports. He started with a frag grenade and then ended up with two shotgun shots, and then the final shot will be an M4. And this was during the day when me and Quintoyo casted. So you were not there, Sir Cloud. But I hope you were.
But
able
isn't
to
the
watch
question on consistency and not like the one-offs?
No. I mean, it's consistency in my opinion. I mean, he just started last season, anyways, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
My next one would be 762 from Strangers Esports. He's been very consistent ever since he started PMCL, in my opinion. I mean, if Miner was still here, I would go with Miner.
Where's Miner now?
He's with a different team now.
Oh, right.
So if Miner was still here, I would go with Miner. But since he's not here, 762 would get my pick. There was one moment as well during this season where he got that clutch play against Max and Austria. So that's my pick. My fourth one. My fifth one would be. I would go with Ryman as well. I would go with Ryman. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, those
One
are
thing
my
I can say about Ryman is he's been consistent, especially in his long range engagement.
Yeah.
And I think he's gotten over most of the time he fears getting in, but I think he's getting over of that already.
Oh yeah, we saw that during PMSL when you were coaching them, Neptune. I mean, the PH casters were saying why is Ryman always at the back end of every engagement? So that's basically the reason why he's afraid, right? I see. Well, while we are not placed correctly on our screens right now, I'm not sure what happened to Lufa, but Lufa, I hope you're going to be back in a few. But let's just go back to the topic, Sir Cloud, where Neptune was not here earlier on.
Playbook?
Yeah, Playbook Esports. Why are
yes,
we not...
please.
Why are we not mentioning Playbook Esports too much?
Well, it seems like um, they have been, I couldn't say overrated. I mean, it's they've been in so many competitions already, from last year up until now, and it's just that it doesn't show like it doesn't it's not that fruitful anymore to hype them up. So it's just that they're just becoming them. if you get what I mean, they're just being playbook esports. So if though they are performing well, especially last week of PMCL, but it's something that they just need to grab a good position in one of the one of the tournament, a best position, or in if they become consistent, top 3. I would say top 3 in 2 tournaments, then they will have that will be the I would say the rise, the coming out of the fall for playbook esports. That's my point. That's my point.
I mean, it comes in where their consistency is not there anymore, right? Like,
I mean, they haven't been consistent.
I mean, yes. I mean, just for PMCL fall, I mean, that's what I'm mentioning here, that their consistency is not there anymore. They just went out during week number 3. During week 2 and week 1, we never really felt them. So that's what the PBE needs to do in order for them to be able to at least maybe get a chance to that one slot for PMGC in London. But I mean, who can tell for the grand finals? So let's go back now to the questions of the viewers. Okay. This is another for Lufa, but let's go for a question for Sir Cloud. This is from Peels QTQT. This was written in Tagalog, by the way, so I'm gonna try to translate it real time. So this is for Sir Cloud. When was the first time you casted with PH teams, and what can you say about PH teams before, during the PMPL MYSGPH with the one slot, and maybe even the C games, compared to now that they have the PMCL with 7 teams? Like, was there improvements, or were they okay before, or are they okay now?
I think the first time I casted with a PH team wasn't even PMPL, as far as I could recall. There used to be the PMCO before that. Right, yeah. And I remember casting that, and players like Fourth Row were still playing, all these OG players were playing that time. So I've seen them in that era. I've obviously seen them in the PMPL MYSGPH era, and now the PMCL era. Clearly there have been improvement, and I think that especially with teams like Harame Bros also representing the Philippines, the play style that they have shown to me for this PMCL, that is the play style that is able to challenge like even other regions. Like, even if you put the Indonesian teams in the mix, you put maybe the Thai teams in the mix, the Vietnamese teams in the mix, that is the play style that should be played. And of course, to be fair, the meta has shifted over the years. Like back then, even the placement points were way higher.
Right.
So you cannot fault teams for playing very, very safe, because placement points are much more of a value. But nowadays, placement points are, cool, you get placement points, fine, but they're not as valuable as back then. So you must go for elimination points. And that's what separates teams on top, the first half of the chart versus the teams on the second half of the chart. A lot of the teams in the PMCL are very passive. For the most part, you see those teams get into the circle. Cool, you have a good spot in the circle, great. What you do, you just prone. You wait, you don't do much, right? And then if you like, you see a fight that's happening in front of you, you don't take like, oh, this is, you observe the elimination feed and then you're like, okay, guys, that the fight's over. Let's go in as a third party. You don't see much of that. So a lot of missed opportunities, I would say, just because of the passiveness of play. So coming back to my point of looking at how like the PH teams are playing, not only Harame Bros, but I also have to give it to Playbook Esports as well. Especially during week 3, they have been playing that play style that is so confident, so aggressive that it might not work out 100% of the time, but because of you play the psychological game, right? If you can overwhelm your opponents by just being that confident, by just pushing them, you don't think that much. On the other side, they'll be thinking like, oh no, like people are onto me, like, oh, then your opponents will just freeze and you just take over them. You just bulldoze them. So definitely these two playstyles, at least from the Filipinos that I have seen, have improved significantly, as in representing the Filipino region, have improved significantly. That if this continues to be the trend of what other Filipino teams can follow, I would say the Filipino teams are definitely on track of improvement as compared to like way back before.
Right. Well, thank you very much for answering that question. Again, that's from PL's QTQT. Shoutouts to you, one of our viewers. And another question from the viewers. This is for Lufa. And by the way, welcome back, Lufa.
I'm back.
This is from Yuan Verano. Ask you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's the English term for sermon. Do you know what's English term for sermon?
Scold.
Scold, yeah. How does a Japanese IGL scold, like, if there's like something wrong that was done? Like when you were in reject, your IGL was, I believe,
Reiji, yes.
Reiji, right? Yeah. So how does he actually talk to you guys? And then the other question is, how can it be a way for you to improve your game?
About the IGL, what is the question about the IGL?
In Tagalog, it was asked, paano mang sermon ang Japanese IGL? So we're talking about Reiji, right? So how does
sermon? Ano yung sermon?
Pinapagalitan, like scold.
Okay. For us, we haven't experienced getting scolded from our IGL. We always just like talk about our mistakes with the coach, because it's a coach work for us. So if we have like mistakes, we always talk about it after the game, not while in game. Like we don't get rage or something. We always just talk calm, and if you have problem individual, we always talk individual or something. But we always talk with our coach, and we always talk and fix it with our coach to our mistakes or something. But we haven't experienced call from our IGL.
Yeah. Well, that's the coach's job. Anyways,
yes,
right?
for us, it's the coach's job for us.
Right. We have actually another question from just a brand new question from, again,
Yes.
Shoutouts again to, by the way, to Yuan Verano, Ask You, who actually asked the question for Lufa. But for this one is, again, another question from Piol's QTQT for Sir Cloud.
Oh.
He was asking, will there be ever an English translation of your book?
Who is this person? Didn't expect that. There has been a good amount of requests. I guess that's also because like I have a lot of friends like everywhere outside of Malaysia, right? To answer, I don't have an answer for that yet.
Oh, by the way, can you share first what your book is?
Oh, actually, yeah, I actually have a copy.
Yeah, if you have a copy, yeah, there you go.
That's mine. Oh, it's like outside.
Oh,
but
no worries.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. But so my book is, if I were to translate it, it's titled "Esports Saved My Life." Yeah. So the half of the book is a biography of my journey, starting off when I was a kid, what I learned in life, that eventually life took a toll, and I jumped into esports during the pandemic, because I was, well, not to say forced to, but I had to survive during the pandemic because I lost my full-time job during the pandemic. And then esports became a thing. I was doing esports even before the pandemic, but just as a hobby. But it was a serious hobby for me. Like, I was doing content. I was just joining tournaments for fun. It was just a pure hobby, right? Until the pandemic came, life took a twist. I lost my full-time job, and then esports just took away. And during that period, so happened that I casted my first PMPL, and with the stars aligned, then I got like the next gig after the next gig after the next gig, and then I started to look back in life and say that, hey, you know what, this could probably be my next life, because I've worked in a corporate environment for more than 10 years, and you have that job security that, you're getting paid every month. But when you transition to doing a freelance work, sometimes you don't know when you're getting paid. So the anxiety is definitely there, without a doubt. So it's that whole story of that journey. And then the second half of the book, I talk about like the esports scene in general. So I talk about like the economics in esports. I talk about like team performances in esports. And yeah, things around that. It's also to cater to both esports enthusiasts and non-esports enthusiasts. Obviously, for them is to understand what esports is about, and it's not as simple as just people sitting down and playing games. Like, there's this whole economics behind it, that people can earn something out of it. And for enthusiasts, it's also to understand the struggles of working in the esports industry. Like, it's not as easy as you think, and we need to improve together as an esports community to grow the bigger piece of the pie, so that people within the esports community can reap more benefits out of it. Yeah, so things like that. So that's part of the thing. Coming back to answering the question, I would love to release an English version. I don't know when, because it costs money. Yeah, as simple as that. So my initial discussion with the chief editor of my book is that, okay, it's very simple, right? If the first edition sells like to a certain extent, then we're like, okay, we would have made enough revenue to move that revenue. Like, we don't spend it, we move that revenue towards translating the book and reprinting the book in English. Yeah, so from a business sense, that is what we're aiming for. But so I don't know yet. So it's pretty hard to tell. But ideally, I would love to do it.
I want to throw something to Sir Cloud. He
Yeah.
threw me earlier. EWC money, bro. EWC pay.
EWC money.
EWC money.
Well.
No, but I do understand. Like, if you did something, and then like economics wise, like, make it pay for itself. Right. So I would love to get the book, especially after hearing from you, because I saw it from your post, and that's where I realized, like, I might not be able to understand it. So, and I guess in terms of your fans, I'm not quite sure though, Sir Cloud, because I'm pretty sure you have a lot of fans in the Malaysian region, but you also have a lot more in the, like, who understand English. So
Yeah,
maybe something you can think about it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably it's time to do the EWC money thing. Yeah, because I don't want to disappoint people who are genuinely interested, and I think these sort of thoughts are shared, are transferable thoughts across the region. Because what I believe in is that we need to collaborate together. Like not only as me inside of Malaysia collaborating with whoever who's in Malaysia, but I believe that we as in Southeast Asia need to band together to make esports bigger for everyone. So yeah, whatever maybe more World Series comes here, like being hosted in Southeast Asia, we get more jobs. You know that whole sort of economics behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of translation now, is this the part where we teach each other part of our language?
Oh man,
Uh,
are we going there?
I'll
Okay.
let Lufa teach you one. So Lufa, can you teach Sir Cloud a Tagalog word?
Oh. I thought you were gonna give him the task of teaching me Japanese.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah. You can do that, yeah. Instead, I'll let
Arigato sa
Neptune.
imong tanan.
Hey, Bisaya.
No, that's another dialect, by the way. Sir Cloud. There's so many languages here in the Philippines.
Oh, I could teach him Bisaya.
Oh,
dialect.
Bisaya.
Oh.
Yes.
Bisaya
Okay.
is a dialect.
Do you know the word good morning in Philippine and Tagalog, Sir Cloud?
Good morning means magandang umaga.
Yes,
Hapon.
but
Umaga, right? Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
but in our dialogue, it's maayong buntag.
So different.
Yeah, maayong buntag.
You know, it almost sounds very rude in Malay if you would say that again. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it almost sounds like cursing your mom or something.
Oh my god.
That's
Like it's
something I
close.
need
It's
to
close to that.
I don't want to talk it again. So
You know what would make this segment fun? Like you throw a sentence of
Mhm.
a foreign language, and then you let everyone guess what is it. What it might sound like.
Oh, us speaking in Tagalog.
Yeah, or maybe Lufa throws a Japanese sentence,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we all have to guess.
Okay, yeah. Let's do
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do the easy one.
Okay.
Oyasumi. I know you guys know this.
Any anime fans here? Neptune likes to wear
I'm a
Japanese?
fan, but I don't have the brain cells to memorize
Good
all
night
that.
or something like that.
Yeah, the good night. Yeah.
Because I heard
Whoa.
of it already before. Yeah.
Not
Oh.
bad, Kuku. Not bad.
Yeah. How about you, Sir Cloud? You say it's Malay, and then we will guess it.
Let's see here. Kuku.
What?
Yeah. That's the word. That's the word.
That's a word.
That's a word.
It's Malay, not English.
Yeah.
They say my name is a bad word in other countries.
It could be. But this is the clean one. This is the clean
This
one.
is the clean one. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's. Mmm. Kuku. Kuku. Nail.
Dude, how did you know?
Hey, really?
Oh, it's
It's the same.
the
the
same here in
same.
Philippines.
It's the same in
Oh,
Philippines.
okay. Now I learned something new. Yeah, it's exactly that. But when we say nail, is it like the hammer nail or is it the toenail?
The finger.
Toenail.
The
The
toenail.
fingernail.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's exactly the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I learned something new.
Yeah. One thing is pinto, kanan.
Into.
Yeah, door,
nauku,
right,
kuku,
Sapato.
hair,
Payong.
payong, umbrella, chapatu is slippers,
No, sapatos.
No,
is
we call it
Your shoes.
shoes.
Alright.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, close enough.
I mean, it's Oh, I guess the winner would be, if it will be scored, would be Lufa. I
Oh,
don't know. Like there's little similarities between Malay and Philippines in terms of Japanese language. There might be some context clues once we throw each other like all those sentences and words.
Okay, okay. I'll give one more, right?
Yeah.
okay.
Salamat.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Nah.
Hello?
No?
Huh? Selamat pagi. What is that? I think I know that.
Okay, alright. Alright. So there's actually two, right? So I was actually thinking of the other one, but Lufa answered one of it. So selamat pagi means good morning.
Oh.
Right. So the selamat that I was thinking of, just by that one word, means safe.
Safe.
Say.
Yeah.
In Indo, it's different, right? Salamat.
Actually, our language and Indo is like 70% same. So that's why we could like easily talk to each other.
Like, what I remember when I heard salamat, especially if it's not Tagalog, is salamat datang.
Datang, yeah, in Indo.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's like welcome.
Welcome.
Selamat datang. Selamat pagi. How a good night.
Selamat malam.
Selamat malam.
That's good night.
So if salamat is safe, so it means have a safe day, have a safe night, like that.
Yeah, that's where the context changes, right? If you like add on another word.
I see.
Yeah.
Now that makes it difficult.
Yeah. But I always tell people like the easy thing about learning Malay is that it does not have intonation.
Oh.
And it's also syllabical.
Yeah.
It's you pace it in, like, it's easier to pace.
Correct.
When I
You
was
don't
there,
you
like-
don't need to worry about the ups and downs of
Yeah.
like, oh, if you say it in a high tone it means different, you say it in a low tone it means different. It is what it is.
And even if it's fast, you can still distinguish each syllable. Like, even if you say it fast, like from what I've heard it when I was there last week.
Yeah,
Or
you're
2
right.
weeks
That's why although that's why I just feel the same with Tagalog as well. Like if you give me like a sentence, like let's say if I were to be reading Kuku's comment, like kailan unang cast niya with PH team, anong masasabi niya sa PH teams nun sa qualifier for one slot sa PMPL, MYSGPH, and maybe sa SEA Games compared sa ngayon sa PMCL. Did I get it right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But again,
It's easy to read.
You're good.
it's easy to read, but it's the difference in Tagalog and Malay is there are a few words that flows compared to Malay, wherein it's syllabical. Like you say it in syllables.
I know one.
Yeah.
I know one. Is it this one? Okay, I might butcher it though, but okay.
It's alright.
Ba 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 ba.
Boba.
Did-
Bababa.
Ba 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 ba. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to repeat that. Did I get it right?
Bababa. Baba mo.
Okay.
It's bababa or bababa?
Bababa.
Like, how is that? What was it again? Like, go down?
Bababa.
If you translate it in English, are we going down or we're going down? Something like that.
Bababa.
Yeah. That is the funniest one that I've heard
Bababa.
that I have no way to brain.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it just so happened that it flows like as if it's one word, but it's like baba is 2 words.
Yes.
So, it would be a full session to teach just that one word, just bababa, that specific phrase. But yeah, it is confusing now that I think about it.
Ba. Ba.
Bababa
Lufa
ba.
is wondering now about that. Baba ba or baba baba.
Lufa, you don't know?
Ba.
I mean, he knows, but he's now thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like
thinking
how to
about
break it, how to break it down, how to explain it.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you were to write it on paper, you're like B-A-B-A,
B-A.
and be like,
Huh?
how? How do you differentiate it?
Is there something like that in Japanese though?
We don't have like we have the low tone, high tone too.
Mm.
Like the low tone has a different meaning and the high tone has a different meaning.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, for the viewers out there, if you want Sir Cloud to learn more Tagalog so that he can probably cast in PH, right? Be with Aya, be with Vince G or KukuTV or Neptune in Tagalog broadcast.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe next time. You
Yeah.
can comment down below, guys, what Tagalog word you would love Sir Cloud to learn.
And
Tapas.
Be nice about it.
Yeah,
be nice about it.
I know that you wanna have him learn some of the the terms.
I'm pretty
that we
sure he
use
knows
in
about that.
game.
He knows it. I
Yeah.
told him in Malaysia. I thought
Yeah.
I teach him.
Oh man. Obviously, Lufa teaches the bad words, so let's disregard that.
You don't put the vehicle in the mall, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Anyways, there's actually one last viewer, or actually a comment here from Mr. Brian Lim. Supposedly for Queen Toyo, he mentioned explain Queen soy sauce. So basically, since we're talking about languages here, like different language, so Queen Toyo, Toyo means soy sauce in English. So Toyo is soy sauce. So that's another thing to learn for Sir Cloud.
Yeah.
Like, is it the salty soy sauce?
Yes.
Whatever soy
Right.
sauce it is, it's toyo.
You can probably say also Queen Kikoman. Do you know Kikoman?
What's a Kikoman?
It's a Japanese soy sauce, right?
Japanese brand soy sauce.
Right, Lufa? It's a Japanese brand soy sauce.
Yes,
Kikoman.
shoyu, Kikoman shoyu.
Right. So did she deliberately choose a name knowing that it meant soy sauce?
It means different.
Yeah, it means different, by the way.
In
It's
girl
It's different,
talk.
not
yes.
literally like soy sauce.
Is it girl talk or guy talk? I think it's guy talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sometimes say if your wife has Toyo, Neptune, like something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Should I ask what it means?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
You should ask
Like-
Neptune.
She's cranky,
Oh.
grumpy. No.
Yeah.
You have toyo in your head, or she has toyo in her head, something like that. But we just reduce it to the word toyo.
Yeah.
Right. Fun fact, for the word toyo, if you add an L behind, it becomes toyol. Toyol means ghost. A form of ghost in Malay. Yeah.
Oh, do you have
Toyo.
like other forms of ghosts in?
Yeah,
Malaysia?
I think every culture has like their own urban stories like ghosts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I learned Filipino ghosts by Mikey Bustos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great videos, by the way, that he comes up with. So
Right.
shout out to Mikey Bustos.
Shout out to my Bustos.
Yeah, if I could get one of those speedos, just saying.
So Mikey and Petra. Like Mikey's the guy version. Petra Mahalimuyok is like the girl version.
Oh, I didn't know there was a name for that.
You know that, Kuku, right? Or am I that too?
Petra is she like the DJ before?
She's. I'm not sure. I think she became a DJ just because of that.
Yeah.
I think she became a DJ because of her
was a
content,
DJ and
and the
now she's a
content is pretty much
content
the
creator
same
now.
as.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
an artist also
Mm.
in Philippines. And then she was in a news channel or like a
Oh.
news show
Yeah.
in 24 Horas. 24
Was
Horas,
she?
by the way, Sir Cloud, is 24 hours.
Yeah. 24.
24 Horas.
Jalan.
Oh, okay.
Horas
Cuatro
jalan.
means 4.
Yep.
Yes.
20,
Okay.
24. 24 is 24.
Right.
So, horas and jalan are the same.
Horas is
Is that
Time.
right? Jalan, right? Horas? Hours?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's in Malay.
Satu,
1, 2,
dua,
3,
1, 2, 3, 4.
empat.
4.
Emang.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of that, it's very different because I think your numbers are based out of Spanish.
Yes, base of Spanish.
Sort of. We just got used to the Spanish version, but like the Tagalog version is some of it are pretty much the same as Malay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like isa, dalawa, dua is dalawa, tatlo is your tiga, apat is ampat,
Ampat.
lima. So yeah, there are a lot of similarities.
How
It's just
similar
that-
our cultures are.
It's just that the Spanish version are, how can you say this? Is it way cooler as a kid? If you know how to speak like the numbers in Spanish, it sounds way cooler as a kid.
Uno, dos, tres. Oh.
Yeah.
Can we now have a Tagalog translation of your book?
Well, I need to make more money. Maybe
Oh.
one more EWC. Just saying.
I have a quick suggestion though,
Oh, yeah.
Sir Cloud. So instead of having a book, why not do an audiobook as a translated version of your book? I don't think that would cost much compared to the physical book.
I have had inquiries for that as well. That's definitely in the in the ideas list there.
Yeah.
So who
just
knows?
thought
Who
about
knows?
Because I think like reprinting is, yeah, it does like in terms of physical, you know how the trade is, like you have something physical, you pay for it. Audiobook is something that you like, you can have it paid and then download it. It just so happens that there's a system for it. Like there's a someone needs to build a website. The crediting needs to be there as well, the database of your subscription, and so on. But yeah, something to think about.
That's not a bad idea. All right. Who knows? Who knows now? Who knows? It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and we're in a digital age. Like I'm 40 years old and I'm doing all this stuff. So
We're not too far away, man. We're not too far away.
Sir Cloud knows about it. I guess Lufa, this is news for you.
Yes.
This is news for you. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah. Well,
I'm 20.
Well, before we talk about age, let's talk about now. Let's transition towards our predictions
Oh,
for grand finals.
Finals.
Who will be the champion for the grand finals of PMCL Fall? Let's start
can I
with
not be the first one?
yeah. Let's start with Lufa.
Yeah. Thanks.
It
I
can
would
be
say
it can be exquisite, by the way.
my team
Nice.
will be
I
the
like-
champion.
I like that.
Yeah, confidence. Wait, I mean, it is not possible.
I don't want to get
especially when-
cursed. I don't want to get cursed by Sir Clouds. So
So you gotta counter curse it, right?
I don't want to talk a lot, but I would say my team because Sir Clouds is gonna be cursed a bit.
Say it before I say it.
Yeah, I just say it. I say it.
All right, so Exquisite Esports for Lufa is the prediction. How about Neptune? What's your prediction for? Okay,
I have to go with the Rame, bro.
all right.
I mean, they did well for the last week. I'm pretty sure that it took time for them to warm up, like 3 weeks of the stage before going to grand finals. But translating in 3 days, it's not that they haven't done it. Like I think they can do it again. But before we go there, I have one quick question, and this can be content for you, Kuku.
Oh yeah.
Lufa, how truthful it is that teams are hiding strats?
I don't know.
Is it possible that you can hide strats in PUBG Mobile?
It's hard.
Hmm.
It's hard.
Okay.
Very, very hard. But it's very hard if you play like scrims or some practices.
Mhm.
Every team will like know it. It's very, very quick. But if you don't play it, like you can hide it until the until the tournament. But it can be revealed so quick.
Nice. I mean, I just want to hear it from Lufa. I think I've asked it to a lot of players before, and I just want to hear it from Lufa himself. Go ahead, Kuku.
I mean, because you can. I mean, you cannot just try it in scrims, right? Because
Yes.
you cannot say 100% it'll be effective during tournament. Because in tournament, their gameplay is totally different, right? So, yeah.
It's hard.
We did that before during Blacklist. We had like this certain type of strategy. We did it in scrims, but we were unfortunate during tournament play. It was effective during scrims.
Mhm.
Yeah. So going back to the prediction, I'll let Sir Cloud be the last one to answer. I'll go with Harami Bro as well. I think this is their redemption during summer. By the way, they got really good head start points, so they don't have that much of head start points during the season. And during the final day, they basically scored only at least like maybe 20 or less points during the final day of that grand final. So I think they will have that, time to redeem themselves to get a lot more points and to defend their crown here in the PMCL and get that one only spot in PMGC. So that's my prediction. Now we go with.
Oh
Sir
man.
Cloud.
I mean, if I were to say the same answer like everyone else, it's gonna be boring, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your choice. I mean, it's your opinion. It's fine.
Oh man, I should have gone first. It sucks to be the last guy now. I would touch my heart before coming into today's podcast. Harami Bros was my first name as well. Touch my heart, right? But okay, yeah. I guess everyone has answered their piece, like why, right? Okay, but if I would say like, okay, if I were to like, okay, put aside Harami Bros, and it is that thin. It is that thin of a comparison. I would still say Austria Esports can bounce back. Yeah, yeah. I would still say. I holler the fact that when Lufa said that about the whole conversation about hiding strats, I don't believe in PUBG Mobile there's such a thing. Then there's no point of hiding strats in PUBG Mobile because there's so many variables to the game, right? So I would say that their slump, if anyone out there is thinking that Austria Esports is just hiding strats for the grand finals just because they have a really, really comfortable week 1, week 2, I don't think so. I think they have a certain, okay, and this again is in theory, right? So fans of Austria Esports, it's just me, and I'm obviously not there.
Chill.
Yeah, chill, right? Chill. I think that is one of those feelings of like complacency. So I obviously don't know what they have been doing for the 2 weeks of downtime. Maybe they've been like, you know what, we did great, we did superb. Let's 2 weeks of absolute chill. Right? We don't know, right? And then when come week 3, then when they start a day, it's like, oh man, I've been off the game for a while. 2 days off the game, sometimes you just lose that muscle memory, and then like you have a problem like starting. So yeah, so I think that is more logical than the fact that if anyone were to say that Austria Esports is hiding strats. So now that they're given that 1 week, I'll pull back my earlier point of this podcast. Coming back third week, they're out of it. They would have gained back their like senses and whatever. So grand finals, I think Austria Esports definitely has it. Yeah, but Harame Bros was my first choice, but not to make it cliche. So Austria Esports, yeah. And you know what? Speaking about Harame Bros, I spoke about this in the during when I was casting. I said that it'll be really interesting to wear a Harame Bros jersey in Malaysia. It would be so eye-catching because of the word haram.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was
Do you know what it means,
one of the
though?
conversation as well.
Do you know what harame? I mean, what harame means in Harame Bro? Do you know what it means?
I don't. But it does sound like something very anime-ish.
Ah, yeah.
What does it actually mean?
It means the team owner's name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aramis
Uh,
Bro.
Yeah, it's
Haramis Bro,
Haramis
right?
Bro. Basically, Harame is the team owner,
Ah.
and Federalis and the others are the bros.
Oh, so you remove the S to make it sound like anime-ish, and then with the bros
Yeah.
sort of thing. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie though, I would have bought their jerseys, but there's no international shipping. So if Sir Harames, if you're watching this, I'm willing to pay for it. I'm just saying.
You
And
might
what-
as well.
like, I
Sir
think the
Harame,
boss-
you can message Sir Cloud on his page, or maybe just I'll just
I
hook
mean-
you up with his
I
Facebook.
mean, slide into my DMs,
Yeah.
like how the Gen Z say it nowadays. Like, slide into my DMs.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, special shout out to Sir Onin from the Sinners Nation or Sin Esports. The jersey is on its way to my house, so
To his house only?
mine. So
Oh,
I hope that you guys also can get your own jerseys. So, special shout outs to Sir Onin of Sin Esports, who actually messaged me this morning. He was asking where is the package there already or something. Yeah, because I was supposed to wear it during the podcast.
Let's go.
But unfortunately, it's not here yet. Maybe during our podcast it was delivered, but I cannot just change my clothes.
I mean, we wouldn't mind, probably bring the views in. Just saying, right? I do have one question. If any of the management is listening to this from Goat Esports, why is the name Goat Esports and the logo absolutely not a goat?
Oh yeah, it's a pig, right?
It's a pig. Why?
Yeah, hopefully,
Is it-
hopefully the other regions as well would watch the podcast. Yeah, definitely. Because this is in English now, right? So
Yep.
everyone can understand this one now.
Oh, I want to drop a fun fact as well, right? Did you guys know that Team Max, the management / owner is actually Rim, one of our caster colleagues
Oh yeah, right.
from Cambodia. Yeah. So
And he's the
can
team
you
owner, right?
can you imagine, like, as the player, your boss is casting and you don't perform?
You don't perform well.
No, it's not the first time though. We've seen that in like other games as well. That like I'm pretty sure they will hear an earful on the cast, and the cast itself. Because like it happened. Though I'm not the owner, but it did happen one time with Playbook Esports. Right, they were playing, and I was coaching them. I was like one of their analysts as well. So
Oh, this was the
Yeah.
time when you were not yet in Malaysia.
yeah, before that, like before.
So you
I
were
was-
like coaching them already, and then it was like, undercover.
It's a season.
something like-
It's a season already of the season's ongoing, and then they grab me as an analyst while season's ongoing. So
so you were.
I have my commitment and casting and all those.
Yeah, I remember you saying a lot of things to PBE during those times.
Yeah,
It was you and me who was casting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I mean, in broadcast.
I know. I felt that during my EVOS days as well. Like if the team does well, like when you're casting, you're like super hyped, like the hype that goes off the roof. But when they do bad, it's like,
Oh
oh,
no.
oh no.
What the
And then in the
hell
back
is
of your
that?
mind is like, that wasn't what we talked about.
Yeah. Why
We
are you
talked
doing
about that.
Well, anyways, yeah, that is our predictions for PMCL Grand Finals Fall. You can actually cast your own predictions as well. There's always that QR code that we're showing on live stream. Make sure you, I mean, it's not here right now, but when you watch the live stream this Friday up to until Sunday, you can cast your own votes, or maybe in the live, not in the live comment, but in the comment section down below. You can cast your own predictions and who's your most consistent players as well in the comment section below. You can even, I mean, for the other regions, you can even put your own consistent Myanmar players, or maybe even Cambodian players or Singaporean players. Oh, speaking of Singapore, it's been I'm not sure how many seasons now. Before we even end this podcast, 3 or maybe even more seasons that they haven't been qualifying in the grand finals. What are your thoughts with the Singaporean region right now, Sir Cloud?
Oh man. I was hoping that you don't go there.
Well, I just thought about it now since I mentioned Singapore.
Okay, might as well, right? Because frankly speaking, I think we need to be, to a certain extent, transparent enough so that maybe the teams would consider what our unprofessional opinions could be to maybe improve in the future. But and okay, plus if you look at like the Singaporean teams, like their lineup is a mix with some Malaysian teams, which honestly speaking I'm not too familiar with. Malaysian players, that is. Honestly speaking, I'm not too familiar with, but okay, we just take it as a Singapore region, right? The play style is absolutely
Different.
passive. Yeah, it's very different. They play very passive. They avoid doing anything. You get the middle of the circle, and I just don't know what happens after that, right? Okay, let's say there were a couple of instances that I believe it was like Flash Vision or one of the Singaporean teams. Like you get the middle of the circle, then that's like the dream spot to just chill, to just defend, and you had a full team. You can keep an eye on multiple angles. And at some point in the game, it's like, oh, wait, like the kill feed just goes, and then they were all eliminated. And then you'll be like, how? Like, you had a compound in the middle of the circle, you had a full team? How, right? So there's something off with how they defend, there's something off with how they just coordinate. Like, okay, dude, you look here, you look there. If anything happens, signal. Okay, we come look at that window together, we spray together, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. So that's one. Being on the offensive side, like they're sorry to say, like super passive. There were opportunities to take shots, but you just don't. And then there was too many questionable moves. Like for example, like I remember there was this one game earlier in week 3. Like one of the players, maybe they were rotating. So one of the players got knocked while he was rotating in the open. Like I think it was in Gatka or something like that. And then what happened after that is that all the other teammates went to save that guy. And then it became a disaster. Because you're in Gatka, you're in an open space. Shots could have came from anywhere. But they still committed to save that one guy who was not in an open space. And I'll be like, why? You have to just let him go. That place is not safe.
Yep.
You went to save the guy, not clearing your surrounding, not even knowing where the shots came from. and it became a disaster for the team. So there were a lot of like this decision makings as well that was so questionable for me. So I'm sorry, but I think the Singaporean teams really need to look back at strengthening a lot of these basics.
So basically, that's how they can improve, right? Just
Yeah.
go back to the basics, try to improve, and maybe you can get a chance to get that one slot in, or maybe two slots in the grand finals. Anyways, that's just a question that popped in my head for Sir Cloud, since Sir Cloud has been with the Singaporean region, with the MYSG region with PMPL. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Okay, disclaimer, genuinely, I would love to see the Singaporean teams do well so that you get some diversity in the grand finals. I'm sure the Singaporean fans will want something to cheer for as well. Like, at least you get one team in, at least they can go like, okay, that team is representing us, the Singaporeans. And I'm sure the fans want that as well. So,
yeah,
it would be nice to have a
shout-outs
diversity.
to Sis Jenny from
Yep.
Singapore. Yeah,
There you go.
another caster from the English broadcast. But anyways, I think we're done here for our podcast. So before we even go, any words that you want to share before we go? Let's start with Lufa.
I hope we're gonna be qualified for PMGC and say support us guys. XQS.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. For Neptune. Oh, by the way, thank you again, Neptune, for stepping in for Queen Toyo. I hope Queen Toyo is
Terima kasih.
sleeping well. Because I know Queen Toyo just had work last night, so maybe she's sleeping until now. So I hope I have a good sleep. So for Neptune, any words that you want to share before we go?
For those of you watching right now, especially those who haven't watched any of the matches for PMCL, hopefully you drop in on the live stream. We're off to the grand finals. 3 more days to prove who will be the champions. And for those of you who haven't shared any of the podcasts, any of the live and content from KukuTV, make sure you do that. We also have our each of our channels and tags as well. Please make sure to follow us. We have Kuku, we have Sir Cloud, Lufa, and mine as well in all platforms. That is what I use. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.
And finally, Sir Cloud from Malaysia, any final words to share?
Wow, Neptune just brought out the caster in him. All I have to say is that my dream for many seasons now is to wear a Harame Bro jersey and walk in Malaysia and look at people's reaction. So Sir Harames, I'm willing to pay just to fulfill my dream of doing that, and I will try to record reactions of people who goes like, is he wearing a haram shirt? What? Yeah.
Did you know that there's a pink version of the Harame Bro jersey?
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a pink version,
isn't that
and it's only for
specifically for the boss.
It's specifically only for Harame.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
We saw that during PMNC because it was like an on-site tournament in Mall of Asia.
Okay. I shall roll back the photos just to have a look at it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a pink
the black
version.
one's cool though. Just saying.
But
Willing to
hopefully
pay.
they can release the pink version, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Just
Hook Sir Cloud up with that Harame Bro jersey. I don't have the Harame Bro jersey yet. I do have the, I do have the Enigma. I do have the Sin who's coming to my house. I do have the Elevate. The rest I don't have yet. So
nice signal then. I saw what you did.
so shout out to Exquisite Esports.
Wait, do you have exquisite jersey?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well. Well.
The candy man.
Oh, we say this in the Philippines, Sir Cloud. Baka naman.
Baka naman.
What
Baka
does it
naman.
mean?
Baka.
Baka naman.
It's like signaling that you want something, right?
Like maybe.
Maybe they can give you something like
Okay. So it's
Maybe
like
you can give me
baka
like
that.
naman.
Baka naman, yeah, baka
Yeah,
naman.
baka naman.
Harame, baka naman.
Harame baka naman.
Yeah.
Sa harames baka naman.
I love it. Yeah, Sir Cloud is now an honorary Filipino.
Philippine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus,
I love my sinigang.
Oh, I do know how to cook sinigang, Sir Cloud.
Okay.
That's one
I
of my
know.
favorite.
Yeah.
I know where to go next.
Anyways, for myself, again, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's
Subscribe,
KukuTV.
guys.
You can watch all full episodes of podcasts there with pro players, with casters, even with the daily, weekly episode of PMCL podcast. We actually even did, if I'm not mistaken, we even did like a prior to PMWC. So hopefully we can do as well before PMGC or during PMGC as well. So again, guys, this has been KukuTV together with Sir Cloud, Neptune, the Gentleman Gaming, and Mr. PMGC, Pinoy PMGC, Lufa. And again, this has been the 10th episode of Inside the Zone. And we'll see you right after I hope we're going to do a live stream on the 11th episode. Whoever is the champion, even if it's Austria or, another region, we'll still have it brought to you. Again, it's going to be live on Facebook, not on YouTube, but we're going to do a recording version on YouTube as well. So guys, we'll see you on the next one, and have a good day, guys. Bye.